Hey everyone, this is Deepak Patel, and in this video I want to share something very important for financial and investment advisor. And this particular video is I want to share an important strategy for newer advisor. So if you are a relatively new advisor who have started your practice in the last 1 year, if you will, or even probably up to 2 years, where you are technically considered a new advisor. And I work with quite a few new advisors, and some of my top clients, if you will, people who are doing really well, are newer advisors. And I believe that that is the case because the new people I find are very easy to coach and they're good to follow the instructions that you give them. But regardless, what I want to cover in this video is if you are a newer advisor and if you are trying to get clients, then one of the objections that you would get most likely from your prospects when you're trying to go get them as client is, how much experience you have. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been managing investments? Or how long have you done this particular role? And this is a tough question for anybody new who is starting their career. And I remember, many years back when I started my career, this was always a problem. It's a bit of a chicken and the egg type of a situation because you don't get experience till you start working, and sometimes you don't get work unless you have experience. And I see that a lot of advisors are kind of stuck into this particular problem, and I believe that a lot of people miss out some good opportunity because they are not able to handle this particular objection, which comes very often, which is how long have you been an advisor? How long have you done that? And what I want to do in this video is to kind of give you one important mindset piece that you want to make sure if you fall into the category, if you are a newer advisor and if you are getting challenged by your prospect, you want to do that. So number one, so I'll talk about the mindset, and then I'm going to give you like a quick 3 step framework of objection handling. And this could be done on messaging, it could be done in your in-person meeting, it could certainly be done on the phone. Okay, so first of all, what I find is that if you are a newer advisor, you tend to have this thing in your own head that you are new and you are not going to be add enough value to people and you are not good enough for some reason, right? So that's kind of the mindset problem most advisors have. And the way this particular mindset issue is going to hurt you is when you get asked that question about how much experience you have, then you are going to be thinking in your own mind that I don't have a lot of experience to handle this client. And at that point you might start responding saying, I'm new, I've recently started, but I'm hardworking and I've had good grades in schools, and you really start going down a path of defending yourself and your experience. And again, you don't want to do that. And I'll give you what you should do in that situation, because I had a client and she had the same situation and we were able to handle it quite well. And I personally have used that many times. Even when I started working and helping advisors, there were advisors coming on the call and asking me questions about how long have I been doing it. And I still get asked that question. I think it's a natural question for your prospect and your clients to ask you. Okay, so first of all, you don't want to think about your experience being a disadvantage. Okay, so that's the number one mindset piece. And all you want to do is you want to really take pride in you being a new advisor. You want to play to your strength that you have a different point of view of looking at problem that the other advisors don't have. You just mentally want to be confident and not feel that being new is a disadvantage. Okay, so that's number one. So you want to go straight into the meeting thinking strong and positive about yourself and about your experience, because it is not a disadvantage by all means, because yes, there is something to be said about experience, and with more experience you can get better if you do a good work. And a lot of times I know a lot of advisors who are 15-20 years, but they are pretty bad. They suck at what they do. So experience doesn't equal to good value that you can provide. It certainly can help, and people who work hard and get a lot of experience, then obviously they are pretty dangerous, to beat. So number one, okay, so when you go into the meeting, make sure you clear your head and you are positive. about yourself. That's number one. Now let's talk about, the 3-step framework and how to handle these objections when you get. So when somebody asks you how long have you been working, or how long have you managed other people's investment, or anything around your experience, then all you want to do is take that question as a simple fact that somebody is asking, which means all you have to do is to just respond with the fact. So the response to a question like that would be, yes, I have been an advisor for 3 months, or I have been an advisor for 6 months, or I have been working helping individuals manage their assets or investment for the past 6 months. You just want to say something like that and just stop. You don't want to extend any more than that. The only time I think advisors start extending is because they are starting to feel that they are not good enough. Okay, so number one, you want to stop. So that's the first way to handle. And what I believe is going to happen from my experience, and also speaking with advisors who are now using this very response, is, at least more than 50% of the time, you are going to be fine. They will just say, okay, and they'll move to the next question. So this is pretty much the end of objection for most people. Now, there might be some prospect, depending upon their, asset value that they are planning to invest with you and all that, they might not like that you are new. And they may just tell you that, I'm not too sure that if you can really help me because you are very new. And they'll be very respectful, of that when they say that to you. So how do you handle that? So at that point, what you want to do is, when you're working as a newer advisor, I'm sure that in your company and firms, you have some mentors, you have some senior advisor in the offices that you work with, and so on and so forth. And you want to kind of speak to those advisors first and agree with them to use them or their names or, their role in the company as a support. So you don't want to bring them in the meeting, but you want to tell them that, yes, I am a newer advisor, and you're right, but I am well supported by some very senior advisors who have been, practicing this for last 20 years. So I rest assure you that if you decide to work with me, then you will be well covered. I'll bring the senior advisor as and when time comes. So that's kind of the way to kind of substitute your lack of experience with some senior people. And I think this is a strategy that I always used when I was in sales. And I see this work well. So that's your second step response to, and you only go down the path if and only if your prospect really raises concern about your experience. Okay. This is the only time you do it. Otherwise, you do not go to second step. And the last step would be, if some people are really hell-bent on only working with advisors that have certain amount of experience, and they're not willing to take you up on your second step offer, which is to bring additional people, and they just want you to have all the experience, then guess what? You have to let them go. Do not waste time with people like that. You just need to respectfully say, then I don't think I can really help you. Because the reality is, if they want you to have 10 years of experience, then you don't have that today. And you're not going to be able to produce that, right? So again, you have to, in sales, you have to let go of some prospect and move on to the next one. But very rarely, in my view, you will have that. I have a client and she just closed, a very large prospect and converted that prospect to a client who had a $1.7 million asset. And, people really don't care as much, as the key thing is you must have a good solution. You must really understand their problem and provide a solution and path that helps the prospect go to where they want to go. That pretty much is what is going to make or break the entire deal. Sometimes you will have people that needs experience, and then you can handle that with bringing a substitute or support type senior team, if you will. And some people, they just simply will not do business with you unless they have, a confidence that, and unless they have a belief that for you to do a good job managing their asset, you must have X number of experience. And in which case, you just let them go and move on to the next one. Again, one thing is about the mindset, and then you have a 3-step objection handling framework that you want to follow. So I hope you found this video useful. Please share with other advisors that you see can benefit from this. And if you need any help to get clients, get meetings using social media, just send me a message. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will speak with you later.